like, yeah, more storage than you need.
Bam, we're live. Yeah, I'm. It's so weird though that I'm struggling to delete now that I'm 93% full. I just want to like. There's nothing in here I want to save. Like,
Yeah, exactly. There's ways that you could clean it out too. It also might be because of the files going back and forth, like the larger video files.
Oh, right. Oh, and I've been sending some huge file. You've seen those big files I'm sending lately.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably why it boosted yours up, because that's when I looked into mine. That's what it was, and it was so funny because it was workout footage from like 2014, completely meaningless. But I got all nostalgic about it. I was like, well, it can't delete me doing wall balls. I don't know. So I pay the 99 cents or whatever it is.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then interesting. And then I go to my trash, and then I empty trash now. Okay, bye.
Yeah, then you should be good. But I just think it's because of those larger files.
This number here next to my inbox, it says 2,320. Is that stuff that I don't have open, that I haven't opened?
Probably.
Good morning, everyone. Turkey Day. Turkey Day. Now that the show is live, if you head over to Paper Street Coffee, everything is 20%. Everything at Paper Street Coffee is 25% off. Everything, including the brewing tools. The code is Black Friday. That's not racist, is it?
Not tomorrow,
because we don't do anything racist on this show. Black Friday, BLACKFRIDAY. Black Friday, 20% off over at Paper Street Coffee. Speaking of which, I'm having my 50-50 blend this morning. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Jim Rohn. I love this community. Corey, it was cool meeting you, dude. Very cool.
Yeah, it was.
I got a shitload of DMs saying I should have you on for a full show. Find out about all the crazy shit you did.
No, it's not. It's 25% off.
25% off.
Gabe's going crazy.
And thanks for the loot, Corey.
Boom. There we go.
Do you think
this hat a while ago?
Who sent? Oh, Corey did.
Yeah.
Tell me what's that again? He had some. It's the
hound dog farm.
Right. Okay. He rescues dogs with huge ears. The droop.
Yeah.
The droopy ear dogs.
That's right.
Sevan, did you see Died Suddenly? No, but I started doing a bunch of research on it last night, and I mean, you guys know how I feel, but it sounds like the movie's unfortunately, I mean, obviously I used mainstream media, but it sounds like the movie's pretty stupid. In regards to, and I say that in regards to, I saw a list of like 15 people on there that they claim that they said died that didn't die. And it's like, they don't have to do that. But I also know that the people who did get the injection, who see the movie, must be terrified. Must be absolutely terrified. So maybe that's what we're seeing too. I don't have an opinion on it yet. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if I will watch it because like I don't know if I don't need any more help in my research. But what did you think? What did you guys think? Oh, thanks, Mike the Sauce. No, Mike the Sour. That's different than Mike the Sauce, right?
Yeah, I think they're two different people.
Kevin, I also watched Our House the other day. It was awesome and so real. Thanks.
Yeah. Glad they took the recommendation.
I'm not. All these people have all these ideas for me. I'm not doing it. Thank you, Allison. I appreciate it, but I'm just chilling, just doing this podcast. I encourage all of you to get tunnel vision, to just really focus in on something you're good at and charge it. I was just thinking about that the other day. No, sorry. You don't have to be good at it. Scratch that. Find something you like doing. Like I love doing this podcast. I love doing the research at night. I told my wife last night, this hardly ever comes out of my mouth. It was like 8 o'clock. And I go, God, I just feel like sitting on the couch and doing nothing. She's like, oh yeah, And I go, but I'm not going to, because I have too much fun shit I want to do. I want to prepare for this podcast. I'm like a kid who just got a brand new coloring book and a brand new set of crayons every night. Like as my kids go to bed, I'm so excited. Crazy tunnel focused. I don't have goals and I don't really have desires like that. I just have stuff that there's some things that I just really, really, really want to do. And I just focus on them. And I keep hearing this stat that kids, if you ask kids what they want to do, they want to be influencers, or they want to have successful YouTube channels. That seems like just such garbage goals to me. That's like saying you want to be a professional athlete. Why not just be like so into racquetball that like that's what just happens? Why not just get on the journey? Why have the, I mean, I hear someone say, I want to be an influencer, or I want to be on YouTube, or I even see these idiots that you've seen me tangle with over the course of this podcast. And I think, God, I would love to hold my resume of life experience to what theirs is. Like, if you haven't been to 50 countries, if you've never experienced just walking across the country just with a backpack on you, if you've never hitchhiked across Siberia, like, what the fuck do I care about anything that you have to say? if you're not Mike McDonald over there with 5 fucking kids and while trying to train to go to the games, I don't. Sorry. If you're influenced by people who have just no life experiences, I want to use a town where I don't know anyone.
Cody,
I saw this video yesterday of a guy who went to a town in Alaska called Whittier, and it's a town in Alaska where you have to drive 2 miles through a tunnel to get to it under a glacier. And then in this town, the entire town lives in one apartment building. Like, if you're not the kind of person who's like, and I'm like, man, I really want to go there. I want to meet those people. If you're not that kind of person, like, I think that's so much worthier than just like being 14 years old and wanting to go to the CrossFit Games and making it, and you just have no life experiences. You've trained, like, your big thing is that you've trained at like 6 boxes. Like, so what?
Even better is like people that sell master classes and haven't actually achieved anything.
All that.
Like
all that.
Business master class, never has owned a business.
Sevan, I'm getting into barefoot shoes since you had the balance guy on. Is wearing socks still considered barefoot? It's too cold in our house not to wear them. Stupid question. Well, you know what's interesting? As I've gotten older, at night in the winter, I wear socks. In my house, I have hardwood floors, because if my feet get cold, it takes forever. Like around 10 o'clock at night, my floors start to get cold. And if I'm walking around my house or just hanging out from 10 to midnight, being on my computer, walking back and forth to the refrigerator, eating hazelnuts, which I shouldn't be eating, or whatever nuts I keep eating from the cabinet, my feet will start to get cold, and it'll take me an hour before they get warm in bed. So I've started wearing socks. Like, that's another thing. Like, the thought of like barefoot walking or being barefoot as being something, like, then if you think that, then you're so far, I'm just going to say, behind, and this isn't directed at you at all, Salo. Like, everyone should do it. But like, if you think like not washing your hair or being homeless is a bad thing, like, you're so far out of fucking touch with fucking reality. My 2 years being homeless were the greatest 2 years of my fucking life. The freedom would terrify most people. The fact that you put on shoes every day without thinking, tarded. and then to point at other people and be like, why are you barefoot? Dude, you are the one that put on shoes. You've been on this planet for 50 years and you've never spent 24 hours not talking? Your life is a shallow mess.
I wonder if my life is a shallow mess.
You should not be in. Well, you're young. You have time. You're my friend. It's okay. You get a pass.
I get a pass.
Like, experiment, man. Experiment. Sevan, I'll let you interview me. Okay, thank you. And I promise you to have fun. You can call it your normal person series. I'll take you on a trip. I so just want to hang out with just normal people. I so just want to hang out with just normal people. The lady the other day when she was cutting my hair, I go, "Does it bother you that I haven't washed my hair in 6 months?" She goes, "Well, I don't have any open. I don't have any open cuts. I should be fine." The fuck up. You don't even know. You don't even know. You're a hair expert and you don't even know.
That sounds like she was just razzing you back.
She was cool.
Oh, okay.
Like, what if you found out after 2 weeks your hair just self-cleaned? I mean, I heard that one time. My hair is the farthest thing from dirty. It doesn't smell at all. I never wear deodorant, ever.
Yeah, but you work out and sweat a lot. I think that really helps because I don't.
Oh, keep your smell. Oh, really? You think that helps keep your smells away? Like
I don't know. I have nothing really to base this off of other than the fact I know that if I'm working out every day and like getting a heavy sweat every day,
yeah, I feel like I twice a day. I work out twice a day.
I feel like I could
twice a day.
Of course you do. We too. Twice. Actually, no, not twice a day. But I move around a ton. But I feel like I don't have to really wear deodorant. Then if you don't work out like 3 days and then you sweat, like you could smell yourself instantly.
Yeah, that's.
So I just think there's something to just a heavy sweat induced workout daily that helps with that.
Since I've started eating more plants lately, I have noticed my smell has changed, and not for the better. If your wife doesn't like the way you smell, or you don't like the way your wife smells, you're probably should consider like maybe you're not with the right person, or something's wrong with you. My wife loves the way I smell. Oh, Sevan, post a call-in number. Okay, fine. Yeah. Thank you, Bruce.
I always feel like that's your cue. It's like whenever you want to open the phone lines, you know?
All right. Sevan, Mike the Sauce, and I want to know, did you pick up saying bye-bye from Tim in our house? Such a cool dude.
That's funny.
Bye-bye. I think I got it from my wife 20 years ago, but my wife worked at that house too. I'll ask her. Bye-bye.
You know who else says that?
Who?
Patrick Bet David.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
He does?
At the end of all the podcasts. And I
didn't even know I did that.
You say it, and I was like, interesting.
I didn't even know I did that. Bye-bye.
I feel like I should start doing it. I was in good company.
So do that, guys. Just find the one thing. Start culling the herd. I don't watch TV. I guess maybe that's like people talk about that. Like I don't watch TV. I watch the UFC and that's it. I don't have cable.
You don't have cable. I don't have cable.
No, I just have I only watch YouTube to find stuff to bring to the show. Like I don't watch TV. I don't watch any series. I don't have a Netflix account.
That's interesting. I wonder if all those things that you just mentioned, like the TV, the phones, and all that, are what's also stopping the lack of experience. You know, before it's like you graduate high school, before we go to college, we're gonna backpack Europe, or like we're gonna road trip across the U.S., or like do something like that, as you would say, gain life experience. Grace keeps commenting on here from the other room. Oh my gosh, and I wonder, because there's so much distraction and stuff like that is what's stopping people from doing it. It's all right in front of them. There's no need to go get that. They're just too distracted by the technologies and the massive amount of entertainment in front of them.
Well, that's for sure. So it'll be 10 o'clock at night and I'll be working on the podcast. And one of the things I do is I just go through my DMs, and the stuff you guys send me is the stuff that I call Cole, C-U-L-L, Cole. And next thing I know, it's 11:15. The technology is like totally keeping me from going to bed.
Mm-hmm. And it keeps you up too. That blue light will like block melatonin levels and stuff.
I don't know about that stuff. Matt, it's your birthday. $2. Is it your birthday?
Yeah.
How old are you?
35.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're 2 years away.
What?
37 is when you start having to really warm up. That's when you start doing 2 workouts a day. You really have to warm up.
I already felt it yesterday. We were doing squat snatches in the workout. My shoulders were just like tight, but there was no like local source of tightness. It just anytime I tried to, like when I got below parallel with the bar, the back of my shoulders just got super tight.
Like your whole body turned into an old piece of plastic.
Yeah, I started yelling and cussing too. I was trying
You
to
did?
snatch. Yeah. Sometimes whenever I don't do it in front of members or anything. Like I learned the hard way back in the day when I was much younger. But sometimes I'll just do that as a release. Like I'll miss a lift that I normally would get and just yell, just let it out.
I approve. Happy birthday, Matt.
Grace hates it.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Wow.
Happy
Now we
birthday.
got to not. Now she's probably in the other room gloating about her work. She got invited.
Everyone, don't forget to like the podcast. Well said.
Yeah.
I like this new picture of Bruce Wayne. It looks like he's having fun in life. Happy birthday, Souza, from Jessica. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Matt. It's not your age. It's just cold outside. You'd never say that. You'd never say that if you weren't old. Hey, like one of the things that I keep telling myself that I wish I was doing, I really want to start ice bathing.
I know. I reached out to a couple companies to get something sent to your house, and I so wanted a massive like plunge tank, like the super nice one, to show up, and you to be all like, "What is this doing? Why is this here?" And then I could be like, "Yes, it worked."
Souza did it. I'm going to go to Home Depot and just buy a plastic container.
The only thing that sucks is you have to get so much ice to get it like significantly cold, you know?
Plate, is that true?
Yeah.
Play 260. Maybe I won't get a plastic container. Mike the sauce. Mike the sour. Just for Matt. $1.99. Thank you. I do ice bath every day. Game changer. I know. I think that you're right. Probably
260?
Right.
I don't have
You don't have 260?
No.
My
notes end at 152.
Why does that keep happening? That happened to Caleb last week too. Here. I'm sending you a new one.
Okay. I was double checking because sometimes the numbers go larger than.
Okay. I told myself I wasn't going to talk and just tear into the notes today.
I feel responsible half the time I start asking you questions because I know I personally love your like old stories, and if I could start digging them out, I always take the opportunity. And I think the people will let that listen enjoy them too.
They want to hear the things that have made me a potent influencer.
I do. I enjoy them.
What are the benefits of an ice bath? You get cold as shit.
It's the fastest way to meditation. I'll tell you that. The guys at Station 8 had me go into one. Yeah. And it was like low 30 degrees. And they were like, you have to go into your neck and stay for like 90 seconds. And I was like, well, I'll show you guys. And just slid right in and hung out in there for 3 minutes. But the first 45 seconds, it's like doing 100 burpees. You're thinking about nothing else besides just your breath and trying to stay as still as possible because you think that that's going to help with the cold. Like it's going to not make you as cold.
Do you think it would hurt my back that I would tensen up so much that I could throw my back out?
Oh, I don't think so. Not for you. No.
Sometimes I think about that. I'm like, God, what if I just tighten up? Like,
I don't think you will though, because I think you could get yourself into that place ahead of time.
Okay.
To where you're not gonna just like, it's not like I come behind you and surprise you with a cold bucket of water and you go, and like you react to it that way. Like
right.
When you're ready, you'll take a couple breaths, you get yourself into it, and then you'll just get right into the tub. And I feel like you do fine.
Basically, if you want to have like a good cold plunge and a good sauna, you need 10 grand. Did you get the notes?
Yeah, I got them, but they're the same ones as the first set.
How come 260 is not on there? It's so weird.
260.
Okay, I'll try one more time. Caller, hi.
Hey, how's it going, gentlemen?
Awesome. Just phone. It's
just want to call it. Oh, no, my bad.
No, my bad. No, my bad. You go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving. You guys are the GOATs without any and all question. Souza looked way bigger and more impressive in real life when I saw him at the games compared to on the computer screen, in which he looked kind of like a little gamer boy. And
I see the gamer boy. You should have never said that. He needs a little microphone coming off his headset.
Oh man, don't do it, Souza. Don't do it, Souza. Anyways, you guys rock. That Zellos game coverage was sweet. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful for you, gentlemen, and have a great day.
Lots of love. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was easy. How about now? Check now. Sevan, start with a water hose, 55 degrees, good place to start, then gradually make it cold over 2 weeks. I can't.
It's just the same ones. There's no 260. What do you have that is it? Aren't you just running right off the email you sent me?
I just hit Command All and then copy and then send it over to you like I always do.
Yeah. Is it not?
What if I try this? What if I try, I'll select like 106 down to 260, copy. You're going to have to erase all these or you're going to have to pay for them from Google. Okay, how about that? Get rid of that.
Okay, let's see. Waiting for it to load.
Yeah,
here.
your storage is almost full, 93%. Maybe I can't send it because my storage is almost full.
No.
Oh, you know what's crazy is it saves all my sent emails too, huh?
Uh-huh.
What a mess. Do your balls go inside your body when you jump in ice water? David,
No.
Allison, yes.
Here we go.
I don't know if they go inside, but they go somewhere. You guys should switch to Notion for sharing. Everyone thinks I should be switching to something for sharing notes. Okay, do you see it? Okay, 260.
Mm-hmm. Now we got it.
Now the show begins. 21 minutes in.
Hey, that's pretty good for us.
Where's Caleb?
Every time he's not here, I always worry.
Yeah, me too.
Like when he's like, yeah, I'll be there, then he's not. I'm always like, fuck, what happened? Okay, ready, rocket?
Action. I invited this guy to come on the show. We'll see what happens. Action.
About raising their testosterone levels. Back in the 40s, middle-aged men had double the testosterone levels they have today. Women's levels are lower too. What is going on? Some of the most shocking reasons are right under our noses, but hardly anybody's talking about them. They're called estrogenics or hormone disruptors. They fit on the same receptors, but do none of the real work that hormones do. So they're really hormone blockers, and that's a problem because they're everywhere and you can't avoid them. Estrogenics run a masterful interference operation. You're probably not even aware they're there in your drinking water, fragrances, food, weed killers, soaps, sunscreens, the plastics that you put everything in, and the list goes on. Why do you care? Because they're making us fat, sick, disinterested in sex, and infertile. Find out who these great pretenders are in the next segment. You need to drop them like a deadbeat boyfriend. Touch subscribe to get the next video and get smart. Everybody's talking.
Okay. Oh, Jeffrey Birchfield. I sent that to you this morning. Well, thank you.
So basically, everything lowers our testosterone?
I guess. I've switched. I bought all. I'm getting rid of. Like, I don't let my kids drink out of plastic. I don't store any food in plastic. Everything. Everything I can. I just moved to glass. 259. His eyes scare me. Yeah, his eyes. He's intense. He's like a grandpa. He's got a grandpa vibe.
Oh, damn. This one's crazy.
Yeah, this is we talked about the iPhone factory yesterday. There's a place called iPhone City where Foxconn in China has 200,000 employees at one facility. And I guess the people have flipped out there. They actually live in dormitories there, I guess. But this is pretty cool. It looks like they've had enough. Looks like they've had enough. Here we go. In Zhengzhou, China. Looks like a KKK rally. Okay, iPhone 15 might be delayed. A smidge.
Dude, those guys in the white suits, I'm assuming that's like the security pushing them back, are incredibly outnumbered. Like
iPhone factory.
Like at some point they drop their sticks and run, huh? iPhone factory or prison camp? You decide.
We live.
Hey.
I would much respect if people stood up for that over like
the
racism or
bullshit.
transgenderism or like.
You know what that immediately reminded me of is the person
like they're enslaving
crying at
people
Starbucks.
to make our iPhones, basically.
Not enslaving, encouraging them to stay at the compound.
Those people are locked in there to make our iPhones.
Nuts.
And meanwhile, there's a fucking there's 50 million fucking influencers in the United States who are using their iPhone to complain about the way they're treated.
The virtue signal.
Yeah.
The virtue signal. Isn't that ironic?
There's games athletes who are upset that we didn't get our payout at the European National Championship.
Hashtag I'm out.
Yeah. Fucking clown.
Not out of the iPhone factory. They're gonna.
Oh my goodness.
You know what
Oh,
they do?
Conor
They use it.
McGregor's looking so juicy. So juicy. You know that he pulled himself off the USADA or WADA, whatever they use, the drug pool. He pulled himself off. Got juice to the gills.
He's like, nope.
Yeah, I'm healing. Okay, 258 perspective. I really want to get to this Ice Cube clip. There's no, sorry, 258 perspective. Sorry. I'm on a race.
You are. I like it.
258. Sevan, did you see Elon found a bunch of woke t-shirts at the office in a closet? No, but we're going to stop and do Elon now that you reminded me. We have to go to Elon's Twitter. Okay, this is perspective. This is a woman flexing her bicep while touching her neck with her hand. That's what I see. Now, you guys tell me what you see, but I'm normal. But I'm normal. Now, what do you see? I think the injection is safe. Not me. I see it like this. I don't think it's so safe. Maybe you need to turn the picture upside down.
I think that wasn't that a sugar packet, and it depends on which way you load them is what you see. I saw that before. Yeah,
no,
and
but
it looks like
great.
Somebody painted that and then did the perspective change on it.
I haven't seen this. Have you seen the video of Elon and AOC flirting? No, but I like it. Okay,
it's just a cut one. It's not real, but it's pretty funny.
You know what I was thinking about this morning in the shower, that culture is just. Well, I'll look up the definition of culture real quick. Culture. I think culture might just be an excuse to be prejudiced, racist, and discriminate. The arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectivity. The customs, art, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. So what would black culture be? I was thinking about that this morning. Careful, don't get us canceled. What would white culture be? What would black culture be?
I don't know. But it would probably change per region.
Because
I don't think you could do it by doing it by race doesn't make sense to me. I think it's by
not even race. How about let's just go stick with color of skin. I'm not even sure I know what race means anymore. Jiggy Josh got me all fucked up with race. He's like, we are just one race. I was like, oh yeah, right. I'll stop using that word.
Yeah, even color, skin color, whatever. I don't think that matters when it comes to culture. I think you're mostly going to be influenced by where you live and like socioeconomic status. So like region and then like social status.
Unless it has to do with yeah, for sure. And skin color is horrible too, because in this country, the United States, the blacks are the richest demographic. If you use skin color, because Indians make $40,000 a year on average more a year than white people.
Oh, I see what you do. I see what you're going with that.
I've seen a lot of Indian people a lot darker than black people.
Yeah, that's why it's such a terrible indicator of anything. And people that like use it are just, it's such a shortcut label and it doesn't mean anything. It's ambiguous, like we always talk about. So that way you start spinning stories in your head.
Or if you're a quarter black, you're black. How come you're not? If the whole thing is just a complete fucking manipulative shit show.
Yeah, that's why I was saying like skin color doesn't have anything to do with culture or behavior or anything. I mean, I think that it changes versus where you live and socioeconomic status.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I wonder if culture is more attached to geography than anything else.
You could think about most cultures, and you could basically think about a person of any skin color race inside that culture, and you'd most likely be true discussing it worldwide, especially in the US, because it's a big melting pot. So then therefore that kind of voids the argument on skin color altogether.
Just go with what do you use? How do I label people then if I don't use skin color? What do I use?
I don't think we should. I think we should just.
I know, neither do I. But
individuals,
I need a substitute for the tards.
As humans, we like to make those quick shortcuts. So I'd rather just like label, so my brain could just place you into a bucket, and then everything has been shortcut. It's easier for me. Not the best way to look at it, but
there's a black guy fighting a white guy. And you're watching the boxing match, and they're both but you're like, oh, it's the guy in the blue shorts versus the guy in the red shorts. Like somehow it's wrong to like point out their skin color. Are Latino, like to admit that you have eyes? Are Latinos the most mixed? Yeah, that whole thing is just a joke down there. Mexicans, please. Give me a fucking break. 300 years ago, there were no fucking Mexicans. Those people should be pissed. They got fucking duped. Imagine getting just raped by a fucking another country, and then all the offspring, and we just change your name and call you Mexican.
I mean, if you go back far enough in history, isn't that where all of us at some point originated? So,
Not Armenians, we were the original, but everyone else.
But of course, yes.
But everyone else.
Yeah, you guys originals.
Everyone else is.
But yeah, I mean, think about it. Everything in history through different time periods all have some sort of like dark past like that, where if somebody was conquered, a land was taken,
God,
slaves were created, wealth was taken, wealth was transferred.
Wouldn't you like to just go into a time machine? There has to be a way. There has to be a way to like to sit through some sort of deep meditation and travel. Like, God, I would love to go back 50,000 years, 100,000 years. I just want to see.
Yeah, me too. I've always been fascinated by that. Like, if you could just kind of be a fly on the wall and go to different landmark times in history and just see the way people operated and treated each other. And
I just want to see that first creature crawl out of the ocean. I just want to see like what did we look like 200,000 years ago? You
should. I've recommended this for you before. I don't know how many books you have on queue because we have some guests coming up. I think
too many, but tell me. Tell me.
Sapiens by Yuval Harari.
Oh yeah, I have it. Yes.
A brief history of humankind.
It's good.
It's great. Yeah, I mean, there's a way more detailed version of it called Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond, and that's like, well, that's going to be a little bit more dense and like a textbook read because Sapiens is just really good. He's got like great humor and he's such a good writer. But that basically gives you kind of like a breakdown of it, of human society at least, and kind of the evolution of it.
Sapiens. But then I got to believe his shit.
No, you don't. You just have to read it and take it in perspective versus your own experiences and compare the two and then decide what's best for you.
All right, fine. Thank you.
Yeah, but I think you'll really like it. And then it'll go by quick too.
That's not the guy's name that hangs out with Charles Schwab. That's not the guy that hangs out with the Schwab guy, is it? He's got another Yuval. He hangs out with another Jew. You know, I'm talking Klaus Schwab, the crazy guy that hangs out with Klaus Schwab that like talks about transhumanism and shit.
Yeah,
he's scary as shit.
I don't know if that author hangs out with him. I don't think so.
Okay,
I hope not.
Okay, 257. Culture versus race. Sapiens is great. Guns, Germs, Steel was tough to. Okay, this is fantastic. I love this. This lady has, I don't know what she's done. She's mentally ill, but yet she's paraded around on news stations like it's. Okay, go ahead, play it. We don't need to play this whole thing. It's just fucking crazy.
Reason why I'm going to be in January. I want to go to Africa to learn more about the cultures, to avoid misunderstandings.
But
learn more about the cultures and the person itself.
But you understand that race and color is much more than skin deep. It's heritage and pedigree and tradition and history and struggle. It's all of those things that you can't hope to get anywhere near with 3 tanning injections.
No, but also the all these steps also having
okay, wait a second.
Curly hair.
This is the same guy who thinks it's okay to chop the dicks off of little boys and start them on their experience. On the level of not accepting yourself and being lost in mental illness, I say this lady, relative to the community that wants to mutilate kids' genitalia, this lady's as fucking sober as they get. Elect her as president.
That's a spray tan?
No, I think she got some sort of injection. She's gonna die. That chick's gonna die of cancer. I've seen people try to do this before. There's a book out there called Black Like Me.
About
a journalist in the 60s who does this to himself because he wants to assimilate and see what it's like. He wants to see how the world treats him as a black man. And it's a pretty cool book, but he ends up dying. He gives himself cancer and dies.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, there's your.
Okay.
We'll have more mental illness on this show later today, but I just think in the ranks, that's not even like. I don't even think she's that mentally ill versus the shit that we're seeing trying to be pushed off as okay. 256 Ice Cube. Look at this guy. I think sitting next to him on the table is too short, by the way. I would like to watch this whole show. I wish we could get Ice Cube on this show.
Yeah, I wish we could too short on this show.
That would be awesome.
We can. Let's talk in absolutes. When we get them on the show, it's gonna be awesome.
I've never tried to DM too short. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here we go. Ice Cube. I want to tell you a quick story real quick. I was 22 years old and I got tickets to the Ice Cube concert. He was playing in Isla Vista. It was Ice Cube and the Lynch Mob. That was when his big song was Fuck You, Ice Cube. And he came there with the Lynch Mob, and it was a small venue. It was a pool hall. They cleaned out they moved all the tables away, and it probably held like 300 people. And I went there early with my girlfriend. Her name was Gilda Banks. And I got there early, and we got up in the front, and even 5 minutes before Ice Cube came out, this was in Isla Vista. I couldn't believe Ice Cube was there. It's such a small little town. And about 5 minutes before the event, 5 dudes walked up to me and told me that they better not fucking see me at the front ever again, and that I need to stay at the back of the wall the whole time. And if they see me holding my girlfriend's hand, they're going to beat the fuck out of me. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Why?
Well, funny you should ask. I can only assume. I can't only assume, but I probably, because my girlfriend was as black as night and these gentlemen were black and they didn't appreciate me being there with her. That's the way I took it. I mean, I read into it. I take full responsibility. I read into it.
You probably, because you said there was 5 guys?
Yeah.
Probably weren't worried about asking for clarification. Probably just
No,
did what they said.
no,
at that
no.
point.
I went to the back and I did not hold her hand. And
wise decision there. That was
yeah. And hey, and my girlfriend was cool as shit too. She didn't get all fucking crazy on him.
Oh,
You know what I
thank
mean? Like she
goodness.
wasn't like, she was cool.
Ladies, please never do that, because you know that's always gonna
Yeah. I could have had my fucking
Never gonna-
face rearranged.
yeah, never gonna end well for the boyfriend of that situation.
It didn't even upset me. Yeah, Nas is cool as shit.
You were
I
just
haven't heard
like,
his-
okay, we're headed to the back, and
Yeah, I just went to the back. I still had the girl. Like I still went home with her. Like she was awesome. She was fucking cool as shit.
did you guys talk about it afterwards or anything?
Maybe I don't even remember. I just remember thinking like, fuck, I really don't want to get fucking mashed by these dudes.
That was it. That fear trumped everything else that you would have worried about at that time.
I don't remember this, but knowing myself, probably like 5 minutes before the concert was over. Oh no. I didn't leave early because I remember he came out when it was over. The crowd started chanting "Fuck you, Ice Cube," and then he came out and did an encore.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was still horrible. It was still a shitty concert. Okay. But I do like Ice Cube. Okay, Ice Cube. Here we go.
I turned down a movie because I didn't want to get the motherfucking jab. You know, I turned down 9 million.
Oh, pause.
Damn,
So I
that
think that's E40 on the left, I think, and then too short in the middle. That is E40, huh? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 40 water. He used to come into a Black Angus that I served.
No, where'd you work?
At Black Angus,
What city?
Dublin.
No shit.
Yeah, he lived or had a house in Ruby Hill, like a big, rich people's gated.
No
community there.
shit. Claiming Vallejo roots, but living in Dublin.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he was all over. That was one of the many of them. But he used to come in, and there was a big booth, table 8, and it was in the corner, right? And the booths were really big and high back. And this one kind of came, so it had a small opening, but it sat. It would seat eight people or so. And he would come in with like him, maybe one other guy, and like 2 or 3 girls. And he would always just roll in and then roll right to the back. It was cool. very generous tipper if you were able to get him as a server. But there was always a fight over who was gonna serve him.
If you don't know the song, he sings a song called Choices. E40 has a song called Choices. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
He's been relevant for a very long time in the Bay Area, him and Too Short. And they continue to, especially E40, he continues to reinvent himself with, I think he's got like multiple different product lines out and stuff like that.
He doesn't
Like
seem to be able to break
alcohol
into the
and shit.
mainstream though.
No, but he's right on like the cusp of like doing it to where he probably still has a ton of like freedom in what he gets to do, but still makes enough money to where he's very content, you know? Like
Yeah.
right in the balance. Okay, play it.
Okay.
Do you want me to restart it?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
I didn't want to get the
You didn't want
jab.
to get, you
Yeah,
know.
fuck that jab. And fuck y'all for trying to make me get it. So, you know, I don't know how Hollywood feel about me right now. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? It ain't just Hollywood no more, though. You can go through the streaming. Streaming ain't got nothing to do with
That's Hollywood, bro.
Is it really? You think so?
It is. It is. They on some shit, but you know what I mean? Me too. I'm on some shit too. So.
Cube vision. No
Yeah,
doubt.
Do that shit indie,
Don't
man.
forget about
I am.
that
I'm
vision.
working on it. I'm
Don't
hustling.
worry about it.
I got a
Don't
few
forget
dollars.
about-
Let's put something together like the weather, man. You dig?
Don't worry about nothing.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Got a lot of things up my sleeve.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Damn, turned out 9 million. I mean,
I didn't turn it down. The motherfuckers didn't give it to me because I wouldn't get the shot.
Exactly.
So I didn't
Okay.
turn it down.
Oh, okay.
They just didn't give it to me.
oh, because you wouldn't get the COVID shot.
Yeah, the COVID shot,
Oh,
The jab.
the jab,
Jab.
yeah.
During the
They
He wouldn't
pandemic.
let him. He wouldn't let him poke.
During the
didn't catch that
pandemic,
shit
man. The pandemic.
At all,
you didn't mean it.
nothing. Fuck them.
I didn't catch it at
Yeah, I
all.
didn't need that shit.
But he
Got-
caught it about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, well, you know, circumstances. I got lucky.
Yeah, me
But-
too.
Ain't gonna take no shit I don't need.
Yeah, I feel you.
I turned down a movie.
$9 million.
Wow.
Who is this? Who is this right winger contesting the jab? Very, very good point. Thank you, House of Spiegel.
All
Just
those
another crazy right winger. Ice motherfucking cube.
all those bottles in front of E40 is his alcohol lines, his tequila, all that stuff.
E40. Okay. Ice Cube. Pierce Morgan, 255. I'm not a huge fan of Pierce Morgan. I think of him
me
as
either.
kind of a jackass, but I'm gonna have to cut him some slack here. Gonna have to say thank you, Pierce, for coming correct. I got another warning on Instagram. I would not be surprised if my account gets turned off very, very soon here. I got a strong one yesterday. Basically, I went to a photographer's. Someone sent me a photographer who was taking pictures and documenting a woman having a baby. And this woman who was having a baby had had her boobs removed and was like trying to be a man, right? I think they call them, the term is transgender. I don't even know anymore. But basically, he was saying this is the first transgender birth that he's been to, which really means that he was at a birth where a woman who had gone through surgery to try to change her into a man was having a baby, but it was still a woman. It's a woman who has her tits chopped off and facial hair. And they call that transgender. I call that a fucking woman with fucking mental illness. Yeah. And I'm not transphobic at all. I just think that cutting off your body parts is a mental illness. That's it. That's fine. No one should hate me for that. No one should be upset at that. And I'm open to being wrong. Very, very open. But I'm not open to that not still being a woman who had the baby in the bathtub. But none of that stuff fazed me. What fazed me is that then this photographer goes to write, this is the first transgender birth I've ever been a photographer at. And I'm so open and I'm so appreciative of the opportunity. And I'm open and accepting of all ideas, all thoughts, all... And it goes on about how accepting they are. And I wrote, You fucking idiot. You sound like you'd make a good photographer at Auschwitz. No one is all open and no prejudice and no discriminating. Nobody. Don't write that shit down. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not open to the process of women and children being fucking thrown into gas chambers and being killed. You're not into women and children being raped, are you? Are you open to everything as a photographer? You have no prejudice. You're completely open to all subjects and matters. So I wrote that on there, and I got a ding, like a pretty strict one, like saying, "Hey, your account is close to being suspended" or something.
I wonder if this, what we're seeing happen with people like doing body modification surgeries. Do you think that's just the start of like what the future holds as far as genetic modification, genetic choice, being able to alter DNAs before people are born, choosing your own gender as the baby's born, like before it's born, and stuff like that due to the advancements in like medical, procedures and science?
Maybe, but you know what I think it's all really tied to? I think all of this, the vast majority of this is tied to diet, nutrition, and like that. I don't know if it's plastics, but I think basically what's happening is that people have fucking completely destroyed their hormonal balance by you're hard pressed to find baby formula in the United States that doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't think that forever destroys your baby, there's thousands of kids out there now. I don't know how it affects girls, but I've done the research on boys. There's thousands of boys out there who got obese so quick that their testicles and penis will never fully develop. Their parents fucking overfed them, fed them too much sugar, and they're fucked. They'll be hormonally fucked their whole life.
Damn.
And so what I think has happened is I think we're in some sort of crazy hormonal fucking disaster that's related to obesity and whatever all the other fucking chemicals floating around are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's at the root of what's going on. And it's caused just all sorts of fucked up thinking.
Interesting.
And the word fuckery, like stop using the word fucking, start calling things what they are.
Mm-hmm.
That is a woman who had her boobs chopped off to try to look like a man, not for Halloween, but forever, is now having a baby, but it's still a woman. No one's ever had a baby that's not a woman.
And is the issue that act, or is the issue the perpetuating of it by corporate media?
Yeah, just the lies around it, like it's normal,
Yeah.
like there's happiness there. None of those people will ever be happy. And don't take offense to that. Most people will never be happy. They're not willing to do the work to go inside themselves and be happy, to find peace and stillness. You'll never find happiness by tweaking shit in the outside world. It's okay to. It can lead to it. It can be motivators for it. I don't think Caitlyn Jenner ever wakes up in the morning and looks in the mirror and is like, yeah, I accept myself. This is exactly how I wanted it to turn out.
Yeah. So like you're saying, pre-transition, if she was at, 5 points for quality of life, post-transition, she's still 5 points at quality of life.
At best.
That moves the needle.
Yes,
there.
At best. Thank you. Well said. Yeah, at best. Olsen dudes, wishing you happy Thanksgiving with your family and friends, gentlemen. Thank you. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe there's one. Just like maybe there's one person who is saved by the vaccine. Don't get me wrong. But the cure cannot be doing more harm than the disease. And the disease is just shitty thinking and bad diet.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is like, it's one thing to say we need to, like, tolerance needs to be high. We need to be open to these certain things, and like nobody should be shamed or whatever for their actions. And I agree with that. But at the same time,
I agree with that too. I'm not shaming.
No.
Them.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are at all. But I think what ends up happening is, as it's being forced in front of everybody all the time by corporate media, and then and then perpetuated in front of the schools and stuff like that, is when it starts to create friction. And I wonder sometimes if people are like, hey, this is me and this is what I'm doing and you need to accept it. Everybody's like, yeah, cool, we accept it. And then it's like, well, that didn't get the action we wanted. Let's push it further. Okay, now we're going to do it in front of the schools. And then you're like, well, wait a minute, hold on, we're not cool with that. And they're like, yeah, see, you guys weren't accepting. And then it's like perpetuating it to create the conflict because it wasn't there on its own. Now we have to force it. We have to perpetuate it to create it.
My wife told me before we had kids, she said, you know, I would have kids with you. I said, that's awesome. But she goes, I want you to do a 10-day silent meditation first. If
Wow.
you
That's intense.
if you're going to cut off your penis or remove your breasts, and you haven't been a fucking practitioner of the most hardcore meditation, you're a fucking ass clown. I feel that way about tattoos too. You didn't sit for 24 hours in a dark room and just listen to your breath before you fucking let some guy in a fucking tattoo shop with rubber gloves put a needle on you and draw a picture on you. You couldn't give that a 24 hours of stillness to think about the impact, what you're doing. And now you're going to cut off your penis and you haven't. I just want to know, what is that? You have to sit in a room for 10 days and breathe and really see if that's really what you want to do. Nope. You just got to go see the shrink over here who's going to give you a bunch of drugs and start the process. I mean, it's just nuts. I would even be like, hey, Jake Marconi will walk across the country with you first. You know what I mean? Like what have you done? Did you climb Everest first? Like, what did you do to really test that?
Oh, wow. I don't know if they've ever been pushed to, and I would argue, and I know them personally, there are quite a few people that are terrified to spend 10 days alone or meditate even.
Oh, dude, there's people who, the vast majority are afraid to spend fucking 5 hours alone. If you don't like to be alone, if you're one of those people, we have guests all the time that say that, oh, I'm just a really social person. I like to spend time with people. Like that's not a, or we're social creatures by nature. That's not a, you should hide that. Push that down.
I forget where I heard it.
Who would you be without that story?
Somebody said, I enjoy being alone, but nobody enjoys being lonely. And I think differentiating the two, because sometimes people associate that with like, well, now I'm lonely and I'm by myself. And it's like, no, you could be alone. You don't have to be lonely. And you could also work on yourself during it. There's a productive time.
Yeah. If you're lonely when you're by yourself, then that's not, that needs to be examined also.
Right.
I have 200 hours of tattoos on my body and I fucking love them.
There you go.
Those vag line tattoos age well.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Oh.
And to the comments earlier about the tape line, it will be a shelf in like by the end of the day.
I wanted to ask about it in the beginning, and I'm like,
I have two of them. You guys can't really see the other one, but they'll go up and not just measure it about.
Susan really takes this show seriously.
Sorry, I was hoping to. Oh damn! Now my camera's screwed up. Even more of a.
Even better. Now you look like a real gamer.
Real gamer. I'm gonna get some blue and pink fluorescent lights behind me that'll change as we go through it. How many things like that can I do before you just like get that shit off the screen?
No, I would never.
Really?
No, I love it all. Oh, 250. I had Ice Cube on there twice. Okay, 255. Pierce Morgan. Here we go. I think this might be a dude right here, by the way.
Floyd Mayweather, who is pound for pound the most successful boxer in male history, you would let him in a year's time compete at the same weight against women?
Yeah, if there's a weak category.
This is nonsense. I'm sorry.
It's absolute
How
garbage.
could you possibly countenance putting Floyd Mayweather, the most dangerous boxer pound for pound?
Pause. Well, that makes more sense to me than that makes more sense to me than introducing this ideology to children. It makes way more sense to me than introducing this ideology to children. Introduce. Johnny, hi. Welcome to preschool. Come, meet the other 3-year-old kids. Oh, today's going to be a fascinating talk. We're going to talk about how you get to choose your gender. Huh?
Sketchy.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, keep playing. Sorry. This is fucking, I can't believe this is the news. I would love to go back and be like in the a 7-year-old boy and this come on the news and watch my mom's face when this comes on. You know, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, can you see Walter Cronkite reading this shit? People, we grew up on Leave It to Beaver. Okay, action.
Be in the history of boxing into a ring with women born to female bodies. This is where the argument becomes utterly ridiculous. And it's not transphobic to say so. It's common sense. You would let Floyd Mayweather.
Crazy.
Yeah, do you guys that's the part too. Stop, all you people out there. I know it's none of the listeners, unfortunately. Stop saying it's transphobic. No one cares. I would love if I didn't have kids to take care of. I'd love to go to San Francisco tonight to a fucking gay bar and hang out with transgenders and just the fucking whole mishmash and fucking juiced up black guys and just throw down whiskey shots. I'd love to fucking rage. I love the freedom, the escape. It has nothing to do with transphobic. It's acknowledging as something like productive, where happiness exists or something, or making it something that you want to lead children to. It's not. Ask any of those people. Look the way they behave.
I also just think
stop dragging gay people into this shit too. Fuck off. They don't want to be. They don't want to be involved with you. LGBTQTCY. Leave them alone.
Dude, the transphobic thing is a way to throw you on your heels and then end the discussion and to silence you.
Right.
Because now we can't have a discussion about it. Yeah, exactly. Because now I've labeled you. We've all done it. Now no one wants to be associated with that because that's the worst thing you can be associated with. So people are afraid to have the conversation and it ends. You're silenced.
Right.
It's the easiest way to do it.
Are you impressed by Pierce Morgan? Are you surprised he did that?
I am surprised he did that.
How about that chick called it garbage?
But that clip is hecka old.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, you can see at the bottom they're talking about like the Tokyo 2020 Olympics and stuff.
Oh.
But I even think that's more I'm more surprised at it that far back, because then you know how things have moved quite a bit, right? The pendulum started to swing the other way as it went like crazy into the Wokeville towards the end of 2020, like summer of 2020, and then slowly it kind of came out of it a little bit. So I'm actually more surprised that he was arguing that point back then than I would be now.
You think that he wouldn't argue it as much now? You think he's
No, I think he would. I'm just surprised he argued it that much back then too.
Okay. Sorry. I see what you're saying. Sorry. So basically Star Wars Cantina. Yeah. I'd like to see any of these fucking people, by the way, these enablers, these fucking lefty enablers do fucking the 5 years I did at the home for mentally disabled adults where I worked and I lived in the driveway. I'd like to see any of these do-gooders to try that. They'd fucking spit you out in 6 months. You don't have the depth in your character or the fucking
mental fortitude to deal with that.
I mean, you basically just have to have a massive spot for stillness. There's this thing that they tell you. One of the tools. It was so funny because we had so many professional like psychologists or people with degrees, like bachelor's degrees in psychology or sociology or whatever. They could never hang at the house. But me, the homeless guy, like they would last a month and fucking lose their shit.
Mm-hmm.
But me, the homeless guy, lasted there for fucking 5 years. And one of the things was my boss taught me back then, who was just a raging alcoholic. She taught me, but she's pretty awesome. She's a pretty good person. She taught me address the person, not the behavior. And so you hear me maybe talk like this you hear me talk like this maybe on the show about just things that are logical or abstract. But I would never treat anyone. I don't treat any. I try not to treat anyone based on the behavior. Same with my kids. Just a person. Sarah Cox, hi. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
We have our first female who is embarking on the she got her blood work done and she's embarking on the California Hormones journey. I'm pumped. You guys all know who she is, but I will introduce you to her here in the next month. You guys, it'll be fun. It's one of our own in the chat. And you can go to cahormones.com and you can use the code Sevan and you can get a free doctor's consultation. And if you live in California, you can even get free blood work. If you don't do it that way, your insurance can pay for your blood work and you can get a free doctor's consult. Just type in Sevan. And if you want to learn more about it, go over to Andrew Hiller and look for his posts on Tuesdays. He has a post that's called Testosterone Tuesdays, and he'll show you all the stuff. He's going to build a massive library about the journey.
You know, it's funny, you know how I go on there and onto like Jerry News or Bloomberg News, and if I catch it within the first minute, I'll leave a comment and then see how many likes or what people say.
Yes.
I'd still do that. And somebody put on there that didn't follow me and I didn't recognize. underneath one of my comments, there was a bunch of people like commenting, and then he wrote, "Go to CA," and like wrote it out like
Hormones?
SEE, yeah, CAHormones.com, and like put verbatim what is always said into the reply to that comment there. And I thought that was pretty funny for two reasons. I didn't recognize who they were, which was pretty cool. And the second one was it was verbatim what you always say on the show when you when we do like call to action for it. So I thought it was pretty funny.
We also have our we're going to go to Wadapalooza this year, thanks to California Hormones. And we just found out about that yesterday. I'm really pumped. Those were some of our biggest shows of all time. They had the rain there last year. First of all, you got to thank Matt O'Keefe for giving us the access he did, which was kind of unprecedented at the time. We're always kind of on shaky ground with the community. And that was really fucking cool. And he came on every night, similar to what Dave Castro did for us. That's kind of what started that trend, which was awesome that Dave did that at the games. But O'Keefe gave us great access, came on the show every night. And then recently, after we did the broadcast for the Zello games, my paths crossed with the new head of VP of sports for Loudon Live. I think it's Dylan. Dylan is his first name for sure. Great guy. I've known him forever. And his last name, I think, is Walensky. But anyway, we spoke, and he said he'll give us complete access to Wadapalooza again this year, and we plan to bring you some great shit. Last year was massive, but none of that would happen without California Hormones, and I mean that. There's no fucking way we have the budget to send people to over there. So thank you, California Hormones, again. I seriously didn't think we were going to go this year. I think last year, Liver King paid for it.
Yep. And Cysteo supplements.
Yeah. He basically I just called him and he said, "Yeah, dude, I trust you." Yeah.
Hey, which was cool because he like that was our first catalyst into doing it and realizing what we could actually do at those events. So
Bruce, thank you. We will for sure be milking you like a cow with giant titties. We would love to have you participate again this year. Thank you, brother. Of course.
And earlier too, Bruce said that the bookshelf behind the podcaster was like a played out thing. I actually agreed with that.
Bruce said that?
Yeah, he was like, "Don't do the bookshelf since it's played out." Every podcast says it.
He probably has to. It's probably the only place he can have a bookshelf.
That's right. Yeah. So if I give you guys, maybe I'll do it on Instagram. And once I have Matt, there's just tons of books that are on the floor here until I get them up. But it's pretty much the only place that I could store them. So, but I'm not. But with that being said, there probably will be Paper Street Coffee displayed on there, Wad Zombies cards on there. Yes, like I will definitely play into it. So you're right, but whatever.
Dylan Malitsky. Oh, it's not Walensky. Okay, Dylan Malitsky. I have these shelves in my house. I haven't shown them in a long time, but I had this idea for shelves. And basically, I couldn't find a way. I couldn't fulfill this idea, and so I shared it with Bill Henniger and Bill and Katie. Have I shown you those?
No.
They made me the craziest thin steel beams that have L brackets come out, and they sent me. These things are so fucking custom and trick, and I've put them all over my house, and then I just put cheap wood on top of them. So my kids can climb on any shelf. Any human being could. A 400-pound human being could climb up my shelves. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing that I can't even believe Bill and Katie made that for me. It's so fucking nuts. It's so weird that when something like that comes to, like a truck has to drop off these long, huge pieces of steel at your house because Bill Henniger made you something. Bill and Katie made you something.
That's so cool.
Oh my God. That was a great day. I forgot about that. Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
254, my wife.
Where'd my mouse go?
I'm nervous. I'm nervous that this one's titled "My Wife." I'm a little nervous. I hope.
Just that opening thing. I'm like, I don't know where
nervous.
to go with this here.
I'm a little nervous. I've never been to an Ice Cube concert with my wife. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. This is my wife. Here.
Reporting that one of the most reliable predictors of a child's emotional security and cognitive success is not the mother-child attachment, but the husband-wife attachment. There is something about the demonstrable love relationship of mom and dad's relationship that profoundly shapes the neural wiring of a child's developing brain. There may be no actual relational stress in the marriage, But in the child's developing world, even perceived stress can alter the blood chemistry, thereby triggering neurological coping responses that in turn negatively affect brain development. Researchers.
I don't know if any of this is true. I don't understand a word she said, but I know that there's nothing that makes my kids more happy than seeing me and my wife be in love with each other. Are we deep throating Trump this morning? No, that's just clickbait. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I saw that on the
thing who
too.
made that.
It's like,
someone on
what?
the team made that. Maybe it was Will Brandstetter. But I'm okay with it. We haven't even mentioned Trump. I don't think.
No, I don't even. Is he in the notes at all? Right before we end, we could talk about it. You could give your thoughts about him being back on Twitter.
Okay. I will. Or we need to go to Elon's. We need to go to Elon's Twitter and just read some shit. Surprise! Bill and Katie would do that for the most problematic man in CrossFit. They actually made that for me before I was the most problematic man in CrossFit. But they've always been very generous with me. If you guys need a good CrossFit gym to work at, hit up Downtown Strength and Fitness, just 3 blocks from Wadapalooza. Okay.
Fair.
Okay. Alan Kesterbaum, you on the gram, Allison. Okay. So like, what a great gift to give your kids today. Pretend like you love your wife in front of them. Pretend like you love your husband in front of them. Kids love that shit. Even if they act like they don't love it, they love it. It gives them so much stability. I have like these rules that I do. I never leave the house without telling my boys to kiss their mom. I never leave the house without kissing my wife. When I come home, the first thing I do is I go over and kiss my wife. These are all things that I put in to play. They're kind of like my Zen tea party. When I go out to the kitchen, when I'm done with the podcast, my wife will be in the kitchen and I'll put my hand up the back so she can feel my cold hand and I'll squeeze her. And my 3 boys will see that as they're doing their schoolwork or eating their breakfast. And I get to hug my wife and watch her squeal as I put my cold hand on her back.
Sure, she loves that part. Are they protective over her too?
Very.
We went to a kid's birthday party from one of our good friends. And he has 2 young boys, and I think his oldest, who the birthday party was for, is turning 3. And we're trying to get him to take a photo with like the family and then like us and stuff, and the kids like weren't having it. So I was like, well, fine, I'm gonna come and sit down. And I sat down on his mom's lap in the group photo, like she was like holding me as one of the kids. And his whole like demeanor and temperature just stopped, and he was like, get off her. And he like runs over when he wanted nothing to do with us before and was like very adamant, like, get off my mom. And I was like, whoa, even at 2.5, 3 years old, everything went away and he's ready to attack.
Dude, if the kid's jiu-jitsu instructor just like messes with me or something, or just like gently put his arm around my throat or something, my kids will just fucking flip out. They are by any means necessary protect their parents. But yeah, especially the moms. Like if they walk in the room and I'm kissing my wife or I'm holding my wife or something, they'll protest. Hey, stop that.
Don't you touch her. She's ours.
Yeah. It's never don't touch dad.
Yeah. We don't give a shit about what happens with that. Only if you get hurt.
Same. Kiss goodnight, kiss goodbye with intention. Yeah, always. When I go to bed, if my wife's already asleep, I kiss her on the cheek or I rub her back for a few minutes before I fucking go to sleep. It's important. It's so important. And you know what? It's cool because even if you don't want to do it, it's like it's not just for them. It makes me a better person. I'm never like, oh, I'm always happy. Every interaction I have with my wife that I go out of my way to have, let's say I'm in the car, I'm about to drive away and I forgot to say goodbye to her, kiss her. I don't go inside and I'm like, fuck, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Every time I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I got to see her neck or put my hand on her forehead or pull her hair, squeeze her tits or something.
Okay.
253. 253.
We're jamming through these today, huh? I haven't derailed you too far. This is good.
I got to get to number 252 because 252 will be worthless tomorrow.
Okay, fair
Okay,
enough.
here we go.
Cancer. How can cancer be cured? I mean, surely doctors must be looking at your work and think, well, how has this
I
lady
have
done
doctors
this?
taking my classes.
Really?
Yes, and they're including it in their own practice. Well, you're not supposed to ever be sick. Never. The body is a miraculous machine that has been created to take care of itself and heal itself if we don't interfere. But you make yourself sick. And if the mind is powerful enough to make yourself sick, it's also powerful enough to heal you.
My boys for the last 5 days have been the sickest they've ever been as far back as I can remember. The coughing I hear coming from them at night is crazy. The last 3 nights I've rotated them in my bed, sleeping next to me, and they're mouth breathing, and I can't even get a good night's sleep. When I drove them to the skate park yesterday, and they were laughing, and I turn around, and my son Joseph has blown snot rockets that are like bigger than my goatee, and all my kids think it's fucking hilarious. My wife and I they've been sleeping in our beds for 5 days. We don't change anything. The only thing that we changed is when they start blowing snot rockets, I try to keep them I don't take them to jiu-jitsu if they're blowing snot rockets. I just wouldn't want to roll with someone who had snot rockets. But all the other shit, the tennises, the skate parks. Oh, one other thing, I didn't take them to the pool. I don't know if this is true, but I just thought putting them in cold water and lowering their core body temp might not be a good idea. Because I think the immune system works. I think the body tries to set the temperature, its internal temperature, its temperature at a place that the immune system is most effective. But everything else we still do. Maybe I changed their diet a little bit. We went out and got a bunch of vitamin C. I don't avoid them. They can still cough on me. I still wipe their, nothing. And my wife and I have been in the bed with them every day for the last 5 nights because we bring them to our bed when they're sick like that. And nothing. I don't get sick. My wife doesn't get sick. We all get sick no matter how well we take care of it. Yeah. But sick isn't
it's true.
Have you ever been really sick? I had the flu one. I had something happen one time where all my bones for 24 hours I thought I was going to die. I was vomiting, I was shitting, and felt like my bones were going to explode. I don't even know what it was. I couldn't even make it to my bed one night. I laid on the floor and I just told my wife to put 1,000 blankets on me. So my temp could go up so fucking high and sweat it out. But I don't think there's ever been a sickness that I've had where sitting still helped it.
Yeah, there's times when you have to because you don't have another choice. But once you start to feel good, if you always get up, even if you walk around the block, or a good example is if you get a little head cold when you first wake up in the morning, it's miserable. Then you get up and you get moving around.
My kids are so sick when they wake up in the morning. 20 minutes later after playing, and it doesn't come back until 8 at night. Yeah.
Yeah, until they're winding back down.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Just try to keep yourself moving.
For a month on the show, I don't know if I had COVID or what, but I was really sick, sounding sick. And there were times when my head would get really foggy and I was like, fuck, I don't even know if I should be driving. But I still worked out every single day. And every time when I was done working out, I felt 1,000 times better for a couple hours. This whole thing of panicking and these stories that people tell themselves about getting sick, it's fucking... Build a hedge against it.
It is super weird that we don't value more of what is being put in our bodies as a you know what I mean? It's you'll eat a bunch of shit all the time, stuff that isn't real food, a bunch of processed carbohydrate, and then people wonder oh, why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel like shit when I get up in the mornings? Why is my mood low? Why don't I have the energy I need to perform stuff throughout the day? Why am I just not excited about life? And it's well, if you look at the fuel you're putting into your body, it's amazing that you're not already sick and just in bed the whole entire time anyways.
Right.
And then it's funny that doctors wouldn't address that as the very, very first thing. Hey, especially when it comes to mental health, it's you should talk about some of the issues that were happening. And the first thing said, okay, I hear you. the first thing we're going to recommend is you're going to get outside and you're going to move. Start with a walk. If you're somebody who is capable and able to exercise, we're going to get you out there and start exercising. And then the second thing that we're going to address is making sure that you're eating real whole foods into your diet. After we do that for 2 months, we'll re-examine where you are and then go from there.
Yeah,
but it's never even talked about.
It's funny you say that too, because that's another thing. So when my kids are sick, I just fill the house with berries too. Blueberries and raspberries.
Antioxidants or something?
Just something tells me it's right. Same thing, something tells me like don't have a microwave in my house and don't use plastic utensils and their silicone utensils in the stove to cook with. It just all seems like, I hope I'm wrong, but it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If something looks like it could be affected by heat, I shouldn't be using it to cook anything. Plastic. I never trusted plastic. I remember being a little kid when plastic water bottles first started coming out. I was like, I do not trust that. 252, the world's largest turkey. 86 pounds. It sold at auction for $7,000. Yeah. That's the only good part of the article. World's largest turkey. I wish I could find a better picture. I wanted to find it like with a dog standing next to it or something to put it in context.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that is the actual world's largest turkey, or if they just took a fucking generic picture of a turkey and put it in there. But 86 pounds. I don't know much about turkeys, but that sounds big to me.
Wasn't there going to be some sort of like a shortage with the turkeys? I was seeing some stuff in on mainstream news type things that pop up in like Twitter feed and stuff that was saying people are going to have a real hard time finding your turkey this year.
Only for the underserved and those who are disproportionately affected by turkeys.
Okay.
I don't think turkey is delicious either. I agree.
You're not a turkey fan?
I mean, I'm not against it, but I don't think it's I've never had like a turkey that wasn't like completely like seasoned. Like it always needs something.
Do you have staple Thanksgiving, like traditional foods on Thanksgiving? You guys don't do like a mashed potatoes and great
alcohol.
I mean, okay, that's an American tradition, but you don't do like the turkey dinner, the mashed potatoes, the stuffing.
As a kid, my mom did. As a kid, my mom did all that shit for us.
You guys aren't going anywhere today for it?
Yeah, I'm going to a friend's house.
Oh, okay. Okay. We used to have white rice with ours.
But you know what? So my friend's house thing starts at 1 and they're going to eat at 3. But I was thinking about afterwards having maybe a party at my house, inviting like, I don't know if I want to get into this story.
Oh, that only makes me more curious.
I just see the holidays as a time when it like, and don't forget this is coming from a guy who is homeless, but I see this as a time to just be open to everybody. I mean, I see every day as a time to be open to everybody.
Yeah.
But especially on that day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to spend that time, yes, with my family, but I would love to have a party with just like all the people who are in my kids' lives.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I had this most amazing talk with Travis Bagent yesterday. So for those of you who don't know, and he's going to come on the show shortly, this weekend, Tyson Bagent he's 3 touchdowns away from and he was a former guest on the show. He's 3 touchdowns away from breaking the all-time college football touchdown passing record. And he's going to be a number 1 draft pick. And maybe the number 1 draft pick in the first round. And I just heard yesterday ESPN saying that I forget who the MVP was last year or the year before, but I just heard ESPN saying that he may be the greatest college quarterback prospect ever to come out of a college. That it's just fascinating what he's done. And I knew this kid I knew Tyson when he was just a little boy. I remember being at his house and like playing basketball with him. And his brother Ezra is probably one of the best, if not the best, high school quarterback in the nation right now also. And Travis told me, fuck buying your kid a new pair of shoes, invest money in the people who are around your kids. And I was like so happy to hear him say that, because I even think that like, fuck whatever sports your kids are going to play. Just find good people, good instructors. Yeah, this kid's so awesome. He reminds me so much of Rich Froning. Like just a good, like he's got like crazy hardcore Christian values. I used to say about Rich Froning, if you saw Rich Froning walk out of a brothel, you would think he was there saving someone.
Like he was there to pick somebody up who's making a bad decision.
Like to save a woman. You wouldn't be like, oh, I saw Rich fucking hose. You wouldn't say that.
No.
That's how clean he is. That's how shit that can't stick to the guy. That's how fucking wholesome and good he is.
That's good stuff.
Hey, I know the guy in that picture. Are you friends with Tyson? What a great God.
This picture?
Oh, you will hear of him. You will hear of him. He is something special. Travis, by the way, I did a documentary that Travis is featured in. It's called Pooling John. Travis, as a young boy, lived in a motorhome with his mom and his mom's boyfriend. Didn't even have a shower. He told me he got in the documentary. He talks about how he got into sports just so other parents would like him and invite him over to their house so that he could shower.
Damn.
This next one is completely mind-boggling. When I see stuff like this is once again, I don't understand how I have so many loved ones and friends and family members who are still Democrats. I just don't fucking get it. Are they complete idiots? Are they ignorant? Or are they all fucking evil fucking people? And I don't use that word evil on this show very often. What the fuck is wrong with people? This is this guy, Klaus Schwab, 251. This shit is like out of a fucking Hollywood movie. You're not even going to believe what's about to come out of this fucking maniac's mouth. He's complimenting China on their fucking way that they run their country. Been to China a couple times. Not a place you'd want to live. Action.
The base has been formed, but we have to go one step further.
Pause. This is all tied to everything. It's not a jump to be like, this is all tied to the vaccine, to COVID, to obesity, to claiming that January 6th was an insurrection. This is all the crazy talk wrapped into one. We watched $760 million worth of damage done to Ferguson with fires. We had fucking dudes just fucking walk into the Capitol building with no ill intention. Anytime there's that many fucking people together, there's fucking bad shit's gonna happen. How about at the Puerto Rican fucking parade in fucking New York City? Every year that thing has more fucking violence than the insurrection has times 1,000. Chicks getting raped just right out in the open.
Oh.
No offense to Puerto Ricans. Someone dies every year running the New York City Marathon. Calling January 6th an insurrection. You're fucking out of your mind. Hold on. I want to look up the definition of that word, insurrection. Oh, is our country so weak that if a bunch of people walk into a building, our country falls? Insurrection. You fucking idiots.
The whole thing is so
a violent
weird.
uprising against an authority or government. Please.
Yeah, that's a stretch for that
Please.
one. Not saying that people should have.
I'll
done
show
that
you what's an
ridiculous,
insurrection. The kind of fucking party Susan and I used to go to when 20 of our guy friends would be out in the street waiting for the keg to show up. You want to see fucking an insurrection? People throwing rocks at cars, TPing houses.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking shooting BB guns. Insurrection. You fucking nut jobs. Okay. This guy is so fucking nuts.
We have to have a strategic mood. We have to construct the world of tomorrow. It's a systemic transformation of the world. So we have to define how the world should look like, which we want to come out of this transformation.
But how to bring everybody on board?
So is now the opinion globalization has failed and we are entering into an era of deglobalization. I think that's wrong.
I hope you're wrong.
I respect China's achievements, which are tremendous over the last over 40 years since the opening up and policy
Pause.
and reform.
He's pleased with China's work in the last 40 years. There's a documentary on Netflix I highly recommend you watch. I forget what it's about, but it's about all the fucking babies they killed in China during their population control. Fucking nuts. There were people, they're interviewing these women who did thousands of abortions on women. They interview people who would just walk through the streets in the mornings. They would get up early and collect all the babies that were left out on doorsteps and then sell them on the black market. That country has a fucking factory that makes iPhones for us. Yeah, China's in massive lockdowns. Yes, Sarah. They're having massive lockdowns. Thank God Australia's waking up. Thank fucking God.
Have you heard the theory of that? The reason that all this testosterone loss, and then they use terms like toxic masculinity, and like they're trying to push away from the alpha male image and all that, is so that way that the beta kind of soft image becomes the popularized thing. And then basically, if you were going to take over a country, who would be the people that would defend it? 18 to 35-year-old males, right, are going to go to war.
And how is this a conspiracy theory? Here's a guy who you can find pictures of him in fucking 1,000 of your favorite movie stars and world leaders. You can find this guy standing next to them. And how can you think that this is a conspiracy theory? What Sousa just said. It doesn't even mean whether it's true or not. It's like, it fits. It fits perfect.
Yeah, it fits. And whether it's being pushed or whether it's just naturally happening by the cultural changes we're starting to see here in the US, it still advocates for what they're pushing for.
Hey, brother, I'm the first to Sevan, stop getting 3-camera iPhone. Then I'm the first one to admit it. I'm don't get it twisted. Don't read into what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted. I'm the first one. I'm the first one to admit I do lots of wrong things. I do lots of wrong. I love my iPhone. Someone said, Sevan, do you ever desire objects? In my DMs the other day, I said iPhones. This thing is dope. Don't get it twisted.
Hey, and it only exists because of the way that China operates its ideology and its economy.
Well, I think it would still exist. I don't want to go there.
I just meant the fact that, like, if all of a sudden the incentives got dropped off, they had to treat employees fairly, they had to pay employees fairly in China, there would be no incentive to push all the manufacturing overseas because you would just bring it back into here.
Or how about just not treat them unfairly? How about just let free markets decide?
Well, right. That would be capitalism.
Yeah. How about just let free markets decide? I don't even need you to stop treating them unfairly. How about I don't need you to start treating them fairly. How about you just stop treating them like slaves and let them go elsewhere if they want to? I mean, that's fucking have them in there caged.
They don't have an option. It's China, dude. Like they're not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And here's the deal: if there was more media on that and it was perpetuated, like some of these other things the media perpetuates all the time, they would be forced to change. Because enough people would start to feel guilty about knowing where their iPhones are manufactured, and that would force some companies like Apple to change those operations in order to keep their sales, in order to keep everything else, right?
Exactly. And Ice Cube didn't take the $9 million.
Yeah.
Kyrie stood up. That other dude stood up and wrote all that shit on his Nike shoes. I forget that guy's name who's standing up.
More and more people are. But very few. And a lot of people don't have the position. I mean, they might, and hopefully those individuals you just named have like a decent nest egg and savings and investing to where financially they could afford to do that. What we're seeing is a lot of the people, due to debts and mortgages and things like that, aren't able to refuse to do any of this stuff because they'll lose their job and then they'll have economic suicide essentially by not following marching orders.
But they still have a choice.
Yeah, that's tough though, right? It's like if I push you to the edge of the cliff and say, hey, you could either get shot or you jump off the cliff. I've given you a choice. Both choices are a shit sandwich.
Right. Well,
so I don't disagree that you're still given a choice.
I don't think the other one, it's either get shot. I don't think the other one is step into the unknown. So like,
okay, I agree with that. Because it's not certain death, right?
Right. But it is scary as fuck, right? Like, think of all the fucking people that lost their jobs. Like all these guys in the military who are standing up and refusing to get the shot. And yet you've been trained for the last 10 years to be an F-18 fighter pilot.
Right.
What's going on with Hiller over here? What do you mean? What's going on over here? I'm looking.
Wait, what do you see?
I don't like, you want to know?
Oh.
I don't like any of the David Hippensteel stuff because I feel bad for him. Not bad for him, like sorry for him. I just wouldn't want to be. Yeah. Like, so for those of you who don't know the story, he's a Masters competitor, super duper successful, super duper fit. He turned in a video last year. There were all sorts of issues with the video. Hiller used him as an example of why the fucking system at the CrossFit Games is such shit and garbage. And David Hippensteel didn't like it. And and part of me wishes that David Hippensteel would have leaned into it and been like, oh yeah, you're right, I fucked up. But I don't think he did. I think he pushed back and he thinks that Hiller's a little shit. And I fucking love Hiller. Like, I really like Andrew Hiller. Like a fucking lot. And so, but I feel bad for David Hippensteel. And I don't know. I just like, I see these and I'm just like, I'm even nervous to like click them. Because I don't like to see like, I love Andrew. It's like when I see my boys being mean to each other, like it hurts me a little bit. Like I have a little death inside. And so like, I don't know. Whatever. It's fun. I guess it's all fun.
Hey, you know what goes along with you were saying stepping into the unknown? Yes.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday where you asked Luke Parker, what is faith?
Yeah.
A lot of times we have really, people that are really, I don't know what the right term to use, endowed upon their religion.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, I think, is a great definition of having faith, which is like if you do step out into the unknown and you know, hey, I'm going to be a good person defined by the morals that I believe. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to stay disciplined like you did when you were homeless. You were like, well, I'm going to work on my penmanship and I'm going to go do this. So you're constantly trying to improve yourself. I think that is kind of the definition of faith in terms of that. If you just do nothing but self-improvement and really try to stay true and be have a lot of integrity, doing the right thing for the right people for the right reasons, that you have the faith that the universe will conspire for you and keep giving you and delivering what you're needed at certain times. And so I think that kind of ties back into almost the religious question that you asked Luke about his faith. He would have blown you away if he goes, it's about stepping into the unknown. You would have been like, oh, now we got some meat on the bone here, right? Because you could still walk that path.
God, you know me well, Souza. You know me well.
You could still walk that path without having to identify it as a certain religion too. You walk the path. You're walking it now.
I was going to say, I think of myself as a great man of faith.
Yeah.
Not a great man of faith. I'm saying that wrong. I think of myself as having enormous faith.
That's the way to put it. Yep.
And I feel like I live my life every day with a very close connection to faith. Like you said, believing, I feel every day at some point, I'm not shocked, but I'm in awe of like, holy shit, this unfolded in my life. I keep getting just so much good shit, but I walk a very fine line because of it. It's like it's a,
but you're also giving something.
I walk a very fine line because of it. Say it again.
You're giving something in exchange. You're always giving something because you're always trying to add value to those around you, to the show, to our listeners, to your community.
I never think what's in it for me. I never think that.
Well, what's in it for you when you pull up to the skate park and pick up all the trash around it? Like, there's going to be
it's for my kids.
Exchange.
For that? It's for like what's in it for my kids.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're doing that because you're wanting to make it better for your kids. Sure, might be the initial motivation, but you're also bettering everybody for the community because now everybody that shows up to the skate park for us today gets to enjoy it the same way your kids did.
Right. It's almost the inversion of what I think. I think about stuff that I shouldn't. Anyway, I'm not ready to go down that hole. But anyway,
that thought just popped in my head. I just wanted to share
and I liked it. So Klaus Schwab, this guy Klaus Schwab, basically he owns Canada and he owns Trudeau and he brags about it all the time. And there's so many of our fucking politicians that are fucking in bed with this guy. And here he's saying that he's complimenting what China's done. in the last 40 years. And this is basically all of the things that are on the Democrats' agenda. That's why it's like, who cares? Who cares if you like or don't like Trump? Who cares if you liked Winston Churchill or not? That doesn't matter. That's not what's going on here. That's because you're selfish that you think like that. Hitler has to be fucking stopped. If Churchill's the guy, Churchill's the guy. Like, fuck. Stop. You just stop putting yourself first. This is 249 equity. Oh shit, we got to go. You have to go, huh? Are you teaching a class now?
Yeah. At 9.
$8 a month for the blue wrench, Damien. $8. $7.99.
Well played.
We didn't even get to I'm loving Elon right now.
We could do a whole show on that.
On Elon, yeah.
Yeah, we could just go through and review his tweets and what's going on there. Like
okay, 249. Underreported video. Oh, here, perfect. Underreported video we've obtained out of China shows large COVID quarantine camps. By the way, when I see this, I just think this can't be true. But I did see some pretty crazy shit in China. Mr. Travis, hi. Travis from Vindicate. How are you, brother? VNDK8.com to get all your cool. By the way, I get compliments on all my sweatshirts and shirts and all the shit that you've made every day, by the way. I need that camo one. I need that camo one.
Sweatshirt?
No, the shirt. The shirt.
I'll get you hooked up. I might know a guy.
You're a good dude.
Hey, I heard you guys were getting ready to sign off, so after you sign off, so I wanted to call while you were still on.
Okay.
So last weekend I was at Charlotte for Charlotte Classic. Went out to dinner with Taylor, the Thumb, and Liz, his girlfriend. After the event, me and Gabe were with them. We were all sitting around.
Who paid? Who paid?
I did.
You the man.
I did.
You the man.
Boss
You the
move.
man.
Boss move.
Hell yeah, I bought them dinner. No, we were just talking about since it's Thanksgiving. I got to tell you how fucking thankful we are for this show and everyone in the community. I mean, all three of us were sitting around, and I don't say this lightly whatsoever. The amount of lives that have changed because of this show, and I wish Hiller and Gabe were on because of those two also. The hopes and dreams of doing shit that we love doing has changed immensely in the last couple years. And I'm not kidding, it's because of this show.
Oh, thanks, Travis.
So many fucking people together.
You guys have all been so generous to me. All of you. You, Taylor, and Gabe have been exceedingly generous to me.
And when I just heard that you guys are going to Miami, I was like, oh, fuck. Because I decided yesterday, Gabe's been in my ear for the last couple weeks, like, you got to go. You got to go. I'm like, dude, that's an expensive ticket. And he's like, doesn't matter. You got to go. And then when I heard you guys are going, I was like, all right, it's done.
Let's not get it twisted. Sousa's going. I'll be sitting right here.
Well, we know that. We know that. We were trying to like plot ways to get you out of your house. We couldn't come up with anything because none of us own a private jet.
Soon. A few years away from that.
At least they know. At least they know how to do it.
We know the way. We need a house and a private jet. We'll get stuff on out of the house.
That's right. Yep.
But just have a good Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families. I'm on my way to see mine, so I wanted to call before I possibly lose any connection.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Travis. I appreciate it, brother.
Travis.
Very kind words.
Yes. We appreciate you.
That was the handsome and fit. According to Hiller, that was his feedback. He said Travis was handsome and fit and tall and has a great clothing company, VNDK8.com, where you can get all your Sevan gear. You can also go to Life is RX together. Okay. So those are that's what I wanted to show you guys. That's what equity looks like, by the way. So when people say that they want equity, that's what it eventually ends up looking like. That's what they're doing. That's why they use racism and sexism and homophobia and transphobia. They use all of those things. They want to level the playing field, and that's what it ends up looking like a quarantine camp. And I'm not joking or being exaggerating at all. At all. That is exactly, you can go ahead and push play. That's exactly what it looks like. And if you go to China, you will see rows of apartment buildings, the biggest apartment buildings you've ever seen as far as the eye can see. They already have that. These are just single floor ones. But they have ones.
Shit.
They have ones that are like 50 floors. Click to the next video. What's next? What do they show next? These are quarantine camps. Look at this shit.
Holy fuck.
Can you imagine treating your people like this? This is what that guy Klaus Schwab, this is what the Democrats want. Whether they know it or not.
I mean, it's just one step over from what Australia was doing, really, with the hotels and the fences they put around the parking lots and all that. I mean,
they tried to use the existing infrastructure to do it.
Yeah, they just put lipstick on the pig there. China just was like, fuck it, we're putting bars on your windows. You got a bed, you got a hole in the ground for a toilet, and it's as far as the eye could see. Oh, look at that. They have fucking dude. You know what's crazy too is like, look how that guy's dressed, and everybody's like, they separated everybody off for fucking what?
These are humans, dude, being treated like this. Other humans treating other humans like this.
Dude.
Go to the next one.
And the guise of the fact that this is somehow better for these people than just fucking getting COVID.
I know. It's fucking insane. You're right, Damien.
How in the world?
It's insane. This isn't like just a few people.
No.
There are more people being treated like this than there are people in the United States.
Dude.
Next one.
I mean,
those people are going to be in trouble leaving their door open. Next one. Yeah, they are stormtroopers.
It's fucking crazy. And they're dressed like that, and that's how they drop out the food, as if the boogeyman's going to jump out of one of those things and attack them. I wonder if they dress him up like that, because then it's a separation.
That's a black guy in China? Was that a black guy?
No, I think he was just the angle, the lighting, and like.
I don't know.
I'm going to watch it again.
That was weird. It makes me question the whole video.
Right here.
Look at his hair. Look at his hair.
Wait, it didn't.
Bro.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck?
Hey, is this video fake?
I don't know. Hey, see those stairs right there that they have, those steel things? Imagine how there was a pile bigger than most of the cities you guys live in of those that had to be hauled over there in trucks and trains just to construct that fucking camp. Just those stairs. Imagine how big that pile of those stairs was.
Dude.
Anyway, you don't want to ever vote Democrat, and it's like that's all their ideology, all their thinking just leads to that. That's what equity is right there.
No, that's nuts.
I don't know who Brittany Griner is.
She's the one who's got arrested in Russia for bringing like the weed pen, like the vape pen with her, who played in the WNBA.
I got nothing nice to say about her. I probably shouldn't talk about her.
Okay.
I got nothing nice to say about her. And the idiots because here's the thing why it's so difficult. It sucks that she got fucking arrested in Russia. I don't wish that on anyone.
Right.
But the story that the left tells around her, it's like, fuck off. Like, she's no one special. I got nothing nice to say.
Well, what about all the fucking people that are still doing time here in U.S. prisons for the same exact thing? Like,
just the people that stood up for her, just all clowns. The way it was, they're clowns.
Of course.
I was researching last night the guy who shot up the transgender bar, and now he's saying he's transgender, and they're saying he can't say he's transgender. It's the whole thing is just a fucking joke.
Yeah. That security guard that jumped into action, though, is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. How about we have time for one more?
Yeah, well, we got to get it in quick though, because I need time to drive to the gym.
Okay. That's it. I got nothing else.
We'll save them.
Tomorrow we have a fascinating guest on. Is Tomlinson an owner of? Is he the owner of CrossFit Uprise? It says it's affiliate series.
Yeah, I think so. I think
This is a fucking crazy story. This guy is a real life Bonnie and Clyde. This guy went on a fucking terror. He was being chased by the police, and he was on the run for like 40 days, just fucking robbing people for 40 days all over the country. It's a fascinating story. A reformed CrossFitter. Tomorrow's show is going to be absolutely awesome. He's a great guy. I think he's also a games athlete. And I think you guys are going to love tomorrow's show. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Susan, thanks for coming on. Don't forget CA Hormones. Thank you for sending us to Wadapalooza. Vindicate, thank you for all the great support. Obviously, Paper Street Coffee. And let's not ever forget Dear Bill and Katie.